Hawthorne Bank in Liberty is a proud supporter of the Liberty School District. At Hawthorne Bank, we understand the importance of a strong community and a strong school district. We also understand the importance of a strong financial future for our school district's families and for our local businesses.
I'm Melissa Hubble.
I'm Mariah Timbers.
I'm Lynn McClure.
I'm Nick Richmond, and Hawthorne Bank is proud to support KLPS and the Liberty Public School District.
Hawthorne Bank, with you every step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
All right, hey, this is Chad Fregon. I'm here with our weekly Blue Jay football press conference. We're returning this week after a win over St. Joe Central, 34-7. It was actually in the second round of the state playoffs. Our first round, we had a bye and matched up with St. Joe Central last week. It was a nice deal in that it was the third time in 4 years that we've had a home playoff win to start the playoffs. This week, we traveled to Staley for round 3 for our district championship against the Staley Falcons. Their team had a very successful year, and they're 8-2. We're 7-3, and it should be a good football game. We have never played Staley and have a ton of respect for the team they have and the program that they run, and know that it's going to be a really good football game Friday night. I'll go ahead and open it up to some questions.
So you said it's been a while since you last made it to the district finals. How big is this for your coaching staff, your team, and how are you preparing for it?
Well, we're just excited for this group of kids. They're a group of kids that come to work every day, enjoy being there, like being around each other. We enjoy coaching them, and it's really been a positive season from that standpoint. So for them to get to the district championship is something that they've earned and deserve, and we're excited for them. And going into that, it has been a while since we've been here. The playoff format, there's been a lot of changes since the last time we were in a district championship. One, the playoff format has changed now that with every team makes the first round of the playoffs, and that helps a little bit and getting more teams involved. And secondly, we've also, since we've done that, we've split high schools with Liberty North, and we've also moved to Class 5. So there's been a lot of things that have taken place since we've been in a game of this magnitude. Go ahead.
So how are you prepping differently to compete against Staley if you've never played them before?
Well, it is a little different than we haven't played them before. Their defensive coordinator was at Park Hill last year, who we've played over the last couple of years. So we have a little idea, at least scheme-wise, of what they do. He's doing a great job. Their defense is outstanding. They return a lot of people off their team from last year. And so those are some things we look at since we haven't played them before that helps us prepare. With them, we obviously traded film with them, so we spent a lot of time in the film room and, working to see seeing how they set up their offense and their defense and the schemes that they run so that we can prepare our kids for Friday night. Go ahead.
How much do you think the confidence grew after last Friday's win?
Well, I think it was good, and against Truman, when we played them in Week 8, we felt like we played a really good football game that night. And then Week 9 didn't play as well against Lee Summit North. So it was nice to have a week off and then bounce back, and really in Week 11 have a game where we feel like it was our most complete game that we played so far. Now, from the get-go, our defense was flying around and making plays. St. Joe Central has a potent offense. They put up a lot of points all year, and our defense just set the tone for the night. But they were able to get turnovers, make big stops, and just played with a lot of energy. And we know it's going to take that to stop this Town and Staley team on Friday night. And hopefully we can repeat that same type of effort.
Knowing that you guys have confidence, what about your knowledge when you're going into this game with not knowing anything really about this team? Do you guys are you guys going to specifically focus on defense or offense, or how will the plays be different in that term?
As far as what we focus on, we'll spend the same amount of time we do every week, but it will be different in that we can't look and say this is how they did this last year, how they defended this play. So there'll be some changes there. We can look and see how they defended or attacked other opponents, but we won't have that to draw back on from us. And specifically like coming off a game from St. Joe Central where we played them, that was our 4th game in the last 2 years, played them Week 1 and then again Week 10 this year. So it is different for sure going into something new like that. But what we do know is we can see similar opponents and what they've done, and we know that they've played Liberty North twice this year. They've played Platte County, teams that we've also played. So there is some similarities there with that we can draw from. Go ahead.
Is there anything you'd say your team has that they lack that you're counting on?
Well, our strength this year has been running the football. We feel a good physical offensive line and run the ball well. We know as our our philosophy is we try to run the ball to set up the pass, and do that every week. And unfortunately for them, as I look at their defense, for us, their defense is outstanding against our run. They're very good. They have good linebackers. So we know it's going to be a great challenge for us to be able to run the football this upcoming week. We're going to have to be really sharp in our execution and limit our turnovers, things that we've had trouble with this year, in order to put drives together and do that. So we got a big challenge ahead of us Friday night. There's no doubt about it. But I feel like our guys are excited. That's the biggest thing at this time in the playoffs and this late in the playoffs. You're not going to run up against teams that are bad. These are all really good football, well-coached, talented football teams that are playing for a lot. And so that makes it really fun and special on these Friday nights.
With it being so late in the season, how is your team's health holding up?
Surprisingly, we're in a lot better shape than we were a few weeks ago. The off week helped us, and we have a lot of our players back, and we have a couple that are nursing some small injuries that we hope can play on Friday. But we looked at the addition. Caden Hewlett came back and played this last week after having a shoulder injury earlier, and he had a big pick six. And got it in there and got us a touchdown that second half that we were excited about. And I'm just excited how he played and fought back to that. And then we gained Noah Price back. And Noah's a kid who was an all-conference as a sophomore, missed a good chunk of this season with the knee injury. Got him back and really came in. And, his presence is felt right away on how we ran the football. He's a big physical kid and a good leader for us. And it was great having Noah back on that offensive line.
Speaking of injuries, Staley has a very good player injured. Are you guys prepping different now because of that?
Well, no, we know, and I tell our kids this all the time, if somebody ends up not being able to play because of an injury, they'll still have somebody in there that's really good. And that's part of it. You're still going to have, it's not like soccer where somebody's out and you have to go with 10 and play 10 on 11. They'll have somebody step in there and that'll do a really good job for them and play hard. So we really go into it defending the same way and executing the same schemes.
With the stress of strategizing and spending so much time together, practicing and such, how do you keep your team together and working well as a team?
Well, it is. At this time, we have really gone solid since June 4th. We had a week off over the 4th of July, and we had one off the last week of July before two-a-days started. But since then, only Sundays off, other than the Friday of our bye week. And it is a long season. It is at that. One thing, we have condensed our practices a little bit now that our JV and sophomore games are over. And that is, just a little change here and there. But all in all, it is a group of 75 guys that have spent a good majority of 4 or 5 months together, and coaches as well. So it's one of those things that makes it fun. Some years that's hard. This year it's easy because our kids get along, and really, I think they're all on the same page with their goals and what they want to do. Good question. All right, we'll go ahead and finish it up here. Hope to see you again next week as we go into our next round of the playoffs. Thank you.
Hawthorne Bank in Liberty is a proud supporter of the Liberty School District. At Hawthorne Bank, we understand the importance of a strong community and a strong school district. We also understand the importance of a strong financial future for our school district's families and for our local businesses.
I'm Melissa Hubble.
I'm Mariah Timbers.
I'm Lynn McClure.
I'm Nick Richmond, and Hawthorne Bank is proud to support KLPS and the Liberty Public School District.
Hawthorne Bank, with you every step. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.